Hello and welcome to Minnesota Self-Care, the show that looks at how we take care of ourselves. I am your host, Michael Thomas Sonneborg, and tonight's episode we're going to be talking about art as self-care. And I'm honored to have a wonderful, talented guest today. Gretchen Dreisbach, Gretchen Grace Dreisbach, is here today to talk about her art. Welcome, Gretchen.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
So tell us about art, how you're using art as a form of self-care in your life.
Well, for me, it's an actual life force. It's like creating art is my life. It's my joy, and it's like how I connect to the greatest essence within me. And I've been creating art since I was 18, and I was an at-home mama. And I've had a studio in St. Paul for 26 years, and I live and breathe and dream, and it's all encompassing. Like
Okay.
it's actual my life force.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more than just care. It's my life. So it's like,
You know, I went to your website and I looked at some of your artwork, and it's very colorful. You use all sorts of colors and you swirl them, and you almost spin them. Tell me more about your use of color and how you found your style. You have an amazing style.
well, I love color and brushstroke and texture and line and composition. So it's like conducting a visual orchestra. So you have all the components into one, and so greater notes, greater the symphony. And it's I call it the visual vibration of love and the blessing. Color has a vibration just like sound. So in my studio, you can actually feel the energy. Like even if you don't see it, you can feel it. And it's all bringing it together, like in the symphony. So it all works. The parts make the whole, and for me it's just a feast. A big, huge, empty canvas. You can tap into pure potential, infinite possibility. It's endless. And that's the excitement and the joy of what can come forth.
So using art as self-care, tell me more about how you got into art as a form of self-care. Was there an event or something that drew you to that?
Well, I went to art school right when I was 18, but then I was in trauma recovery my whole 40s, and then like I said, I was raising my children. But art has always been, why you get out of bed, you keep going. And my studio, and then it's no matter what it is, it's what your joy and what you love, and that keeps you pulling, out of the abyss into the light of pure joy and pure love. And that's where I am now, in pure, wholeness.
So is this something that then you express through your art, obviously?
Yeah.
The feelings that you're having, the insights you're having. Is there certain things that inspire you more than others?
Well, just truth. I mean, whatever are my personal truths aren't somebody else's personal truths. Like it's your, to thine own self be true, and your individuated aspect. And so for me or any artist, it's your truth. Your truth isn't my truth. And so when you're creating art, and you let it emerge, you let it come forth.
I remember I had an art class in high school. I had an art teacher named Mr. May, and he always taught us to really express ourselves through our art and through color choice, through drawing, and so this is obviously something that you found that is an expression of who you are.
Yeah.
And how does it help you when you do this? In other words, using art as a form of therapy. How does it help you put that energy or into something that you're painting?
Well, and again, art can be therapy.
Okay.
And in a lot of cases it is. But for me, art is life. So it's actually your life force, where you're connected back to your true divine essence, whatever that is. So it's like the cord back to your original life force in your divine essence. So, and again, for anyone, that can be whatever their joy is, but it's whatever your joy is, and it's love is the energy, and then the joy is the expression. So for me, I choose to find joy, and so I crawled out of that trauma abyss, but And that's my message of love and hope, that it's, love is the greatest force in the universe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting when you think about where inspiration comes from and how it comes. Are there certain times of like the day or the week or certain moments where you're more inspired than others to do your work?
Well, for me, it's always like you can't turn it off.
Okay.
Like, when you have a kink in the hose or not. Like, so for me, it's my connection back to divine, and it's the true divine essence that it can't be turned off. So I spend a lot of time like in nature, the river, the lakes, or walking, but whatever's in your life can come back to the art. So, because you have a full, vessel to draw from. So whatever is in my life or your front of your eye, anything can be part of your art.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm always aware, put it that way. And then I let it flow. I don't do pre-sketches or I let it happen. I allow. So I can do a big 12-foot canvas. I would never get like writer's block because I'm always connected. So it'll flow, it'll come.
What is your medium that you prefer? Are you paints, pastels, oil, watercolor? What types of mediums do you prefer to
I use
to
the
use?
big like jars of acrylic paints, and
Okay.
because they dry so quickly.
Okay.
And I'll do a lot of layering because it's so physical. And then I've done years and years of drawing of the gelling pen that just flows, because line is a visual vibration too. So you can feel the actual vibration. So it's so similar to sound, but it's visual. There's no greater than or less than, it's just different. So color and line have a vibration, so you can feel it.
So if someone didn't have that same understanding that you do, and I understand too about vibrations and colors, and I've studied energy and artwork, and
Yeah.
if someone didn't understand what that meant, how could you explain it to them? Like how did you learn about color and line and having energy? How did you learn that?
Well, that is intuitive. Like, in art school you learn, technique and how to use it, but then you allow. So, and then it comes through the heart mind, not the mind, because you
Okay.
can't think intuition. You have to feel and allow. If I was thinking those hundreds of drawings, it would block actually. So you allow and flow, just like, with music where it's just coming. Like I was trained and I learned, how to, but then you just allow and let go and it comes. Like I always trust. Like I said, I never have like writer's block. It'll come, like, because it's there. You're just allowing, and then the flow, and then that's why it's so fun and exciting, because it's infinite. There's no ending. So whatever is there is what's supposed to be there. And then I just celebrate it, and I love color. I love everything. So it's like
You said a very important word. You said the word trust.
yeah,
You said, I trust that it'll be there, and I trust my intuition.
Yeah.
So we talk about like the heart and mind connection. The
Yeah.
mind is a very powerful tool. Our thoughts
Yeah.
are very powerful, but our feelings are, and many will associate intuition with the feelings or that gut instinct. So
Yeah.
are there some ways that you can tap that more easily? In other words, do you do some sort of meditation? Do you do some sort of practice to help you stay in your intuition and not get boggled down by your thoughts or your mind?
Well, for me, I see it as unified, the body, mind, and spirit. I see it as one package. So I don't just go into my mind or my heart mind,
Okay.
because they work together.
Okay.
So even if you're walking at the river or something and you're thinking, you can still feel. And for me, like the coming back into wholeness and wellness, when you are holding one aspect, the others fall into place. So all my physical symptoms are completely whole. All my mental, everything is completely whole, because they're not separate.
Yeah.
You can't just separate your mind from your body, or you can't separate spirit. Spirit is everything. So when your spirit is whole, which is our true divine essence, is whole. So you're not even healing, you're just returning to wholeness. And that's what trauma, my message is just an energy that can be cleared. It's not pathology, it doesn't have to be lifelong. you can clear it and come back to wholeness with whatever your love is. And it doesn't have to be art. Everyone has a joy and a love.
I love that what you just said, returning to wholeness. That
Yeah.
could be the title of the book or of
Yeah.
your gallery or
Yeah.
you know of a showing. Have you had any art showings or art galleries?
Well, I did, yeah, and years ago, and then and I've been represented internationally. We try to get things back here in Minnesota again.
Good.
But I have so much art and big, huge paintings and drawings, and so we've been like letting things unfold around the world.
Okay.
But I have a lot of exhibitions ready and art, and to me, it's to be of service. Like that's the whole point. Whatever your gift is, you're contributing to the whole.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like my art beings. I and my art beings are in service to love, and we're ready to be in service. That's the whole point.
That's beautiful. I love the idea of that your art connects you not only to yourself but to other people,
Yeah.
and to be of service to others, because we are really here to support and love each other.
Yeah.
So if your art can help speak that for you, it helps to build those bridges.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a beautiful insight, and I would imagine it took you some time to get to that point, or was it something that you just knew when you started? I mean, was it an evolution or?
Well, every art for years, it's meant to go forth. Like
Yeah.
it's not just for me hoarding it. Like I've never felt like that. It's always how can you give? In the giving comes the receiving. So it's like how can you, whatever your gift, if someone cooked a meal, you know, that they want to share it, or a garden, you know, you're sharing it, a music. The best part of fun is having others to play with and
Yeah.
sharing. So, and then we reached some like ceilings here in Minnesota. So we had to, you know, try the rest of the world, because like I said, I have so much. But it is for me, and you can see on my website, I am co-creating art beings with spirit. And that's because the information comes from somewhere. It doesn't come from nowhere. It's coming from somewhere. And I honor that, and that I allow, like I'm like a conduit. Okay, what are we going to create today, Divine?
So if our viewers were interested in seeing your art, what is the name of your website?
GretchenGraceDreisbach.com.
GretchenGraceDreisbach.com.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I'll have your name printed out on the
Thank
screen,
you.
so
Thank
they'll be
you.
able to see that. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. And I have gone to your site, and I thought it was wonderful.
Thank you.
What advice would you have for any of our viewers that are maybe interested and they've got an inkling about how can I take my inspiration and turn it into art? Do you have any tips for them?
Well, definitely whatever someone's joy is, that's your GPS. And it absolutely does not matter, like if it's something they think is weird, no. That's your GPS that you're born with, your soul's code, like to follow, to be, you know, whatever your joy. So it's our birthright. So I give everyone permission, and it's not just self-care, it's self-love. You're allowing the love, and you'll hear like, oh, I can't do that, or no more, I can't. You can,
Yeah.
because it's your birthright, so you can claim it. You know, I get to be happy. I get to have my joy. I get to have my life force. I deserve it. Everyone does.
Well, and from the way you talk about it, I can see how it's giving back to you and to
Yeah.
others too.
Yeah.
So being able to tap into that, that's wonderful. That's great. I love Instagram because you can see
I
people's
know.
photos and you can share things on social media so quickly. So I'm glad that you have a website. I'm glad you're on social media, and it gives just people more exposure. So
And then like LinkedIn, it's like
Yeah.
having an international show every day. It
Yeah.
goes around the world,
yeah, isn't
like
it
all
wonderful
around. I know, I love it.
to use technology? Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming to talk to us today. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your gift with us tonight. So
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thanks.
Okay.